Now, this is actually a very complex question simply because the word belief has changed its meaning in 400 years. It didn't used to mean what it has come to mean today. Belief today means having an opinion. But belief used to mean giving one's heart and soul to something. And that is what faith is. Faith is putting one's trust into something. Now, as an example, the fact that some conservative Christians today say they believe in the devil. Now, what they mean is it's their opinion that there exists a being called the devil. And so they say they believe in the devil. Now, no one in the 16th century would ever have said they believed in the devil. Of course, it was their opinion that there was a devil. But they never would have said they believed in him, because to believe in him was to put their heart and soul in him and trust in him, you see. So the word belief has changed. Faith, therefore, is actually a form of trust. Now, it expresses itself in the form of beliefs, but the beliefs themselves change through the centuries. One's beliefs depend upon the century in which you live and the kind of experiences you have. But faith is something which transcends that. And you can have faith in every century, every generation, where you are putting your trust. You put your trust, first of all, in your fellows. Faith begins as a child, when the infant puts its trust in its mother as it clings to its mother. It arises instinctively. Faith arises initially as an instinct. And then as we come to years of understanding, and it becomes more of a conscious, positive act. And we put our faith in our family, in our friends, in our teachers, in society, in humanity, in the world. And that brings me to the point of Teilhard de Chardin, who said that if for some reason or other he couldn't understand, he lost or was no longer able to put his faith in God or Jesus Christ, he would put his faith in the world. That, he says, is the ultimate to put one's faith in. I like to define superstition as any belief or practice which has outlived the context in which it was relevant. And that in the days when it was relevant, it played a natural role. But as the context disappeared and it survived, it's a hangover from the past, a superstition. And of course, lots of superstitions survive like that. And there are lots of beliefs and practices which we don't call superstitions, which are, in fact, there is a tremendous amount of superstition in traditional Christianity. Traditional prayer is a superstition, because in the days when all believed that there was a God up there just waiting to hear the prayers of his people, it was a practice which meant something, which was a real practice. But in a time when that idea of God has disappeared, to carry on praying is a superstition. If prayer is to be understood as a conversation with an external deity, then I don't pray at all. And indeed, even when I came into the Christian tradition in 1937 onwards, I didn't find prayer to be very real. Mind you, because other Christians did it, I did my best to practice it as an individual. But even then, I found corporate prayer more realistic than individual prayer, because in corporate prayer you are joined in the congregation, you are thinking things through together, and that is the value indeed of this sort of exercise of prayer, but I don't see prayer as speaking to a divine being. So I prefer not to talk about prayer or pretend that I pray in any sense, really.